Ben here, bigbenchas.com. I want to show you today a great tractioning exercise that you can do. Joint capsule tightness contributes to about 50% of the tightness in the body. Everything gets all packed into that joint capsule, especially when you're lifting heavy weights, squatting. You just imagine how much pressure gets put onto that joint capsule there. So what we're trying to do here is traction that capsule, free up a little bit of space inside the joint so you can let those tendons, everything breathe in there, give that a little bit of release. Alright, and this is a great exercise to do that. I'm about to show you right now. This is great for the hips. It also decompresses the spine. So it's great after a heavy squat session when you get all that weight in your back and you're compressing all those vertebrae as well as your joint capsule in the hips. This is also good if you just have cranky hips or if you have some back pain. This will free that up as well. So very easy. How I got this set up, I got a belt hanging from the bar down here just so I can put two heavy bands right in this rig here. So I'm going to wear it pretty much like I'm putting it on like a jacket. That's the tricky part, is getting into position. I want these heavy bands right over my hips. Most people are going to be alright with a couple heavy black bands. You need enough band tension to pull you upwards. So usually if you have a gray band, black band, that works for lighter people. If you're a little heavier like myself, about 220, usually you're best off with a couple black bands. Good band tension. So the hardest part is just wiggling this down, getting it positioned over your hips. I'm just shimmying side to side, getting those bands in position here, and then I'm just walking myself down. Now the bands are going to be pulling my hips upwards. I'm just going to place my feet in front of the bands here. Now see what's happening is these bands are pushing my hips upward, pulling them upward, and I'm getting all this traction in my hips as well as decompression in my spine. I'm tractioning all the spine vertebrae as well. So you can feel all that pressure from standing just come off your hips, and it's just sitting here, it just feels really good. A lot of people just lay here and just want to just stay here. It's a feeling you don't usually get. It's good traction on the hips. So from this, I can do a couple different things. I can squeeze forward, so I'm contracting my hips forward and then relaxing. So a little form of contract, relax that you can do. It's like that, and relax, and breathing out. So letting that band tug me up. I can also drop one foot down to the ground. Kind of let my hip flexor expand out here. Just hang out. And do the other side. I can get my feet up here, get a little wider with it. Find what feels comfortable. One thing that's really good is I can get my feet up here, and then I can kind of shimmy ipsilaterally here, so I'm moving one hip at a time. So see my leg, I'm pulling it upwards, one side at a time. You see that little shift going on? Just like that. That's a real good exercise to do. And I can also do, Donnie Thompson popularized this, and he calls this the stripper pole. So right here, I'm just wiggling those hips around, just like that. Get a good movement in there. I can go the other way, clockwise, counterclockwise. Just like that. Look at all that hip movement going on. Real good stuff. And just relax. Plenty of things you can do in these bands. The whole deal though is that you're getting great traction in the hips. Usually you can't get that doing self-stretching myofascial release that just doesn't hit the joint capsule. You really need it. The bands take the place of the manual therapist pulling on the limb itself. So bands are great for creating that traction. Great exercise to use the hanging bands here for the hips.